Okay, let's talk next about your Hostess programs. We want to be familiar and understand and be confident in our Hostess program because that's really what's selling your hostess on having a party and sharing you with her friends. Whenever you are a brand new consultant and you're doing your initial bookings, as we talked about in the booking training, a lot of times we want to try to make those facials before their parties. So in that case, when you're talking about giving her some free stuff, you might want to just offer her a free lip gloss or a free eyeshadow. Or 10% off of her order if she sits down to do a facial with you initially. So that's kind of a different animal. But if you're, let's say you called your aunt and she says, yes, I'll do a party for you, and she's already familiar with Mary Kay, and she doesn't really need a facial, I wouldn't go into a ton of detail about her Hostess program. I would just tell her, I'm going to make sure you make out with some great free stuff at the end of this based on bookings and sales. But then once you've sat down with somebody and you're in front of them, you want to be able to explain this pretty simply, but you want to be passionate about it and be excited about it because that's what sells people on your Hostess program. I could be just giving them half off anything that they want, but if I talk about how excited I am, you know, if I'm really excited about it, they're like, oh, this must be really great, this Hostess program. So it doesn't matter what your program is as long as you're on board with it and you believe in it. I want to show you a couple of the ones that I think are great to get started with. This is one that I created that's just called 3 Friends Equals $30. Now this is, I think, a fairly safe Hostess program. In this time, this economy, a lot of hostesses are afraid that the people they invite aren't going to order. I will tell you, it has been a very rare case where I have not gotten sales at a party. In order to get those sales, you need to know how to sell your product and explain it, and so you want to make sure that you do have a handle on how to do a skincare class properly. If you don't, I don't recommend using this program. Instead, you might want to use something that is based entirely on sales. That one that is based entirely on sales, this is our 10, 15, 20 program. That's what I call it. This is one from the company. This is company approved, and so you know it's got to be good. And I just created this sheet that you can also get on the Top Banana site that just makes it a little bit prettier and a little eye-catching. And what it is telling you is that based on the show's totals, if you had no bookings, that hostess will get 10% of the sales and free product. So you can see right here, if they had a $200 show, they're going to get 20 bucks, a $500 show, 50 bucks, and anywhere in between. Now, obviously, if they get bookings, they get more free stuff with less sales. So if we had one booking, it's a 15%, you're going to give them 15% of the show's totals in free product. And if you get 2 bookings, you'll give them 20%. And so you can just kind of do this little chart. If they had 400 in sales, they're going to get $80 in free product with 2 bookings. So this is a great program. Again, it's all in how you make it more glamorous. Now, at the bottom, I added this in that you can get half-priced items whenever you call me with your guest list, hold on your original date, and have at least 4 women present. So that way they know they're at least getting half off just by doing these things. Regardless if nothing is sold, you can still give them half off things. That doesn't cost you anything to do. So anytime that you run into a kind of a situation like that where you want to give free stuff but you really didn't sell much, give them half-priced items. And they're at least still making out pretty well on that deal. So that's the 10, 15, 20. And then another one that I think is great that you can also find on the Top Banana site, this is the Get Gorgeous New Mineral Color class. Now, mineral colors were new just like a year ago, and so that's why it's called the New Mineral Color class. But on here, this is, I love this program because you really can't lose money on it at all. For a free eyeshadow, they just have to hold on the original date. For a class that has at least 3 guests over 18, they're going to get another free eyeshadow. And then if the sales are over 125, a 3rd free eyeshadow, a free blush if they get 2 bookings, and then a free compact if their sales are over 250. Now, at the worst, all you could end up doing if you got 2 bookings out of this and no sales, you would have given away an eyeshadow, 2 eyeshadows and a cheek color. And that's really not that bad because you got 2 bookings out of it. If nothing happened, no sales, no bookings, all you've really given away is 2 eyeshadows, but you've still gotten yourself in front of 3 people, and that's important. So this is good. I recommend this one for college students who are usually very interested in color. This is nice because your sales aren't always predictable at a party that's just college students. So you might want to try this one. It's just, it's on a page that has 4 of them to a page, and you can just cut them out. And these are kind of nice because you can just hand them out and they can take them home with them. Now, any program that you decide to use, another one the company promotes is the 75 for 35. That's where the hostess would get $75 worth of product and she'd only pay $35 for it. I can't find that one to be very exciting, and I don't think that hostesses get very excited about it, but again, if you're excited, they will be. I just don't personally use it. But let's say that you did a program like that, 75 for 35, and they had phenomenal sales and awesome bookings. What I would do at that point is pull out this 10, 15, 20 and figure out what their total of free product would have been based on this rather than the 75 for 35. And they're going to get probably more free product from this. So whichever one is better, give them that program. Okay, so that is the Hostess program. How do you figure it out is the question. That's when I like to use this checklist sheet that we had talked about earlier. And you can see right here there's a listing across whenever you get this off of the Top Banana site. And it says retail sales, tax, Section 1 free, Section 2 free, and non-recovered tax. And what I do is I just flip this over to the back. And usually I've pre-profiled my girls on the first half of the page. Anybody that was coming, I've written their name and their things about their skin. And then on the bottom half, I do something very simple. I just transfer what was on that front to the back. So it would be, I'll just show you this. Okay, then we don't have to do anything fancy. You don't need a special paper for this. But we're going to write retail, tax, Section 1, Section 2, and non-recovered sales tax. Now this means the retail amount would be the actual cost of the product that was sold. So if you sold a satin handset, $30 would go here, and then the tax would be over here, which on $30, the tax would be $1.80. Here would be Section 1, anything you gave away for free. So let's say that over here this person bought 4 sets and they got the roll-up bag for free. Then over here under Section 1, you're going to put $30 because that's the retail value of the Section 1 that was given away. For the most part, we don't give a lot of Section 2 away in a party, but let's say your hostess chose the Hostess magnifying mirror, for example, for her gift. Over here under Section 2 is where you would capture that. So if that mirror cost you, I think they're $15, you would put right there under Section 2, $15. And so it all kind of works out when you do your weekly accomplishment sheet. You'll understand this a little bit better. But you just go through, and I would just write, if my guest was Susie, here's what she bought, etc. Debbie bought this, this, and this, and Marla bought this, this, and this. And then I would total it up, and whatever my total in my retail column is what I use to figure out what my free product is that I give away to my hostess. So let's say that for my hostess, she ended up, we did a total of $500 in product sales. This is just to round it up to make the math a little easier. And we had 2 bookings. Then I know that 20% of 500 is what she's going to get in free product. So 10% of 500 is 50, 20% of 500 is 100. So she's getting $100 in free product. And so I can subtract that off of her sales slip. So if this was her sales slip, and I don't know how well you can see this, but I would write out everything that she wanted. So in this case, her retail value of her order ended up to be $181.50. And so I wrote the retail amounts down here, and then I added it up over here. And beneath that, I would write $100 in parentheses because that's what she's getting for free. So now her new subtotal, instead of being $181.50, is now just $81.50. I do the tax on the full retail value. So for $181, this worked out to $10.89 for her tax. And then her total now is $81.50 plus $10.89, which was her tax. So that's what her total is that she owes me because she got $100 in free product. So hopefully that makes sense. You can use that, again, for any situation. 10, 15, 20 is a great way to double check and make sure that you're not giving away too much. Just make sure to romance the program, and your hostess will be excited about it. So that's it on the Hostess program.